The first topic is Competition Amendment Act of 2023. So here, to increase the cost of the product, the middleman generally create a fake demand of the product. If the demand for the product increase, then automatically the cost of that product increases. Thus, the middleman create fake competition among the products in the market and then gain profits. So, for example, take onions. The farmer sells onion to the middleman at a normal price, but the middleman sometimes uphold them, reduce their supply in the market, create fake demand for onions, and then sell his onions at a higher price. So, creating this middleman in official trading, in the official terms, this middleman is called combination trader. Okay, so here, so creating fake demand of products, upholding the product and keeping large amount of product in stock in order to create fake competition, all these acts are illegal and buyers and sellers will be affected the most. In order to reduce such fraud activities and to ensure fair competition in trading, Competition Act of 2002, you can see in this box over here. So Competition Act of 2002 was introduced. So under this act, it restricts the anti-competitive agreements. It restricts corporate abuses on some persons to negatively impact competition in India. So suppose I have said about a middleman, right? So if the middleman is operated by the corporate class, then the corporate class forces him to do such things in order to gain demand of that product. So if this Competition Act of 2002 restricts the corporate abuses on some persons, okay, that which negatively impact the competition. So for those things, for fair competition, this Competition Act of 2002 was enacted, and this act also established Competition Commission of India, CCI. You can see over here. So Competition Commission of India. So the main aim of Competition Commission of India was to eliminate the practices that impact fair competition, promote competition system, protect the interests of the consumers, and ensure the freedom of trade in India. So the Competition Commission of India, or the CCI, works under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So it consists of the chairperson and 2 to 6 members. So all this chairperson and the members working under here are selected by the central government. So the term of the office for chairperson and its members is 5 years or 65 years age, whichever is earlier, and they are eligible for reappointment. So the Competition Commission of India was formed under the Competition Act of 2002. So recently the center has made few changes to the Competition Act of 2002 and it introduced the Amendment Act. So that is the Competition Amendment Act of 2023. So for that reason this concept was in use. So under this act, the Competition Commission of India has the power to issue statements of objection if the combination trade has any loopholes. Okay, just now I have said about the combination trade. So the middleman who regulates the trade for his own profits or gains is called the combination. Okay, combination person, combination trade. Okay, so here the combination trade is an option trade who are involved in purchase and selling. Okay, the middlemen in simple words. So they make many strategies in order to make profits. So the CCI has the power to approve or reject the combination trade. So the middleman should get permission from this CCI if he want to trade like a middleman. So any loopholes, if the CCI finds any loopholes within them, they will reject their license. Okay, so this is the main function of CCI. Under this act, the CCI has the power to issue statements of objection if the combination trade has any loopholes. So here the combination trade is the option trade who are involved in the purchase or selling. So in simple words, combination trade is nothing but the work which the middlemen do in our market, that is the combination trade. In official terms it is called combination trade. In unofficial word, it is the middleman trade. Okay, so they make many strategies in order to make profit. So CCI has the power to approve or reject the combination trade. So if the CCI observes that the combination trade has some loopholes, or they are going to make any fraud in order to gain profits, then the CCI has the power to reject that trade. Okay, so the approval time of the CCI for combinations is, before it was 210 days, but now it has changed to 150 days under this amendment act. And if any illegal practice to mislead the competition is done by the combination trade, then the penalty of 1 crore to 5 crores will be imposed on them. So it also, the penalty also depends upon the annual turnover of that combination trade. Okay, so this new amendment act ensures speedy approval of combination, ensures fair competition, it also increase the penalties for those who commit illegal competition, etc. So this is about the new Competition Amendment Act 2023 and the Competition Commission of India. Let's learn about transition from London Interbank Offered Rate, LIBOR. So we take house loans, student loans, credit cards, and other sorts of loans from different private sector banks. So these loans are given to us with some interest rate. Similarly, even the banks take loan from international banks. So the London Interbank Offered Rate, or LIBOR. So LIBOR is one of the global bank that sets a global benchmark interest rates and gives short term loans from 1 day to 1 year. Okay, so this LIBOR gives interest rates, loans based on the interest rates, and the interest rates is decided by this LIBOR. Okay, so many private sector banks in India take loan from LIBOR, and LIBOR decide the interest rates based on the market situations. So this LIBOR gives loan up to from 1 day to 1 year. Okay, the maximum period of the loan period of LIBOR is 1 year. Okay, so many private banks in India takes loan from LIBOR and gives us loans. So that means the interest rate that we pay is directly or indirectly related to LIBOR. So in 2012, LIBOR scandal has come to light. LIBOR scandal involved world top financial banks. Some of these large banks have manipulated the interest rates by providing the false data. And this scandal was started from 2003. And in 2012, this scandal has come to light. So it has been said that the 2008 financial crisis, was due to this scandal. Okay, so indirectly we are affected. We are the people who pay loans to the private sector banks, and those private sector banks pay interest amount to this LIBOR bank. So indirectly we, the common people, are affected because of this scandal. So let's study more about this one. So there are some international banks which were involved in this scandal and changed the interest rate to make profit out of it. So many private, public banks have come out of this LIBOR. So after this LIBOR scandal has come out, many public and private sector banks has come out of this LIBOR bank. And recently RBI has issued an advisory notice to the banks to finish all the transactions from LIBOR from July 1st. So we have another bank which is called MIFOR, that is Mumbai Interbank Forward Outright Rate. Okay, so this is like the Indian sub branch of LIBOR. So RBI said that MIFOR and LIBOR will be phased out by June 30. So we have to clear all these things from July 1st. Okay, so as LIBOR has phased out, we also have other alternative banks. So LIBOR will be abolished. Unofficially it will be abolished, because even the staff of LIBOR couldn't answer any questions which were posed by the agencies. So this LIBOR has proved as illegal. So this LIBOR will not be working in India, and even this MIFOR also will be not be working. So in this place, we have alternative banks also. What are those banks? They are the SOFR, that is US one, that is secured overnight financing rate. Next, European bank is European Interbank Offer, that is Euribor. From Japan, it is Tokyo Interbank Offered Rate. From China, it is Shanghai Interbank Offered Rate. And from India, it is Modified Mumbai Interbank Forward Outright Rate. So these are all the alternatives for LIBOR. Okay, so this is related to LIBOR topic. So we have one private sector body that is formed under the Companies Act. That private sector body is the Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. Okay, so this one was formed under the Companies Act of 2013. And one more interesting thing is it is the private bank. So it is the private limited one, not public. Okay, so it will develop money market, government securities, foreign exchange, and also administer them. It will develop and administer government securities, money market in the international level, as also, and also administer the foreign exchange of India. So this body is called Financial Benchmark India Private Limited. So it is regulated by RBI. And there are two important terms that we need to know. One is financial benchmarking. So it means creating a framework to measure and compare the financial data with other countries. And the second one is over the counter markets. So or OTC, over the counter markets is also called OTC. So OTC markets are the decentralized trading. That means decentralized means the trade is divided into very small sectors and traded individually. Okay, it is a type of decentralized trading. So it takes place outside major exchanges, so officially it will not be there, but it is a form of small type of trade. So two parties trade, exchange currencies, commodities, etc. without the central exchange. Okay, so it is a form of decentralized market. This topic will be very easy if you listen carefully. So see, imagine you have a brother who is working in US. So he sends money to your parents every month. So this amount only is called remittance. Okay. So if the money is transferred from one country to another as a gift or something else, then that is called remittance. So even Indian parents also send money to abroad to pay fee for their children or any other expenses. So the transfer of money from one country to another country is called remittance. So India has introduced liberalized remittance scheme under finance ministry. So this scheme states that the remittances in a year should be within $250,000 limit only. Okay, so the maximum remittance was less before a few years, but under this liberalized remittance scheme they have increased the limit. Okay, so another term to learn here is tax collected at source. So if you want to send money abroad, then some amount is collected as a tax, and this tax is called tax collected at a source. Coming to the remittance, we have two types of remittance. Okay, the remittances to some extent for domestic need or any other business purposes is okay, but few countries send money to some organizations which may be contributing to some illegal acts like terrorism. So such huge amount of remittances is tracked and stopped. Such remittance which donate to some illegal acts like terrorism, etc., is called prohibited remittance. And the remittance which are sent for some domestic needs, study purpose, etc., are called permissible remittance. So the topic is insurance sector. So the official body which regulates the insurance companies and other insurance intermediaries is the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, IRDAI. So this body was formed under IRDAI Act of 1999. So it was formed under as a statutory body. Okay, so it gives licenses to insurance companies, protects the interests of the policy holders, regulates the investments which are made by the funds of insurance companies. Okay, it regulates the investments made by the policy holders. Okay, so if I have an insurance company, so I got 5,000 crores of investment by the policy holders. So if I invest that 5,000 crores in any other illegal sector or any other thing which is not official, then this IRDAI will regulate the investments of the funds. So if it is done illegally, then I will be in jail. If it is not done, if it is done legally, then it is okay. Okay, so it also regulates the investments made by the funds. Okay, so it regulates investments and also inquire that if they find any fault with the insurance companies, they will investigate. Okay, so this IRDAI regulates public and private life insurance companies, general insurance companies, reinsurance companies, agency channels, intermediaries like corporate agents, brokers, etc. Now we'll learn about reinsurance companies. So what are these reinsurance companies? The reinsurance companies are the companies which provide insurance to the insurance companies. Okay, the companies which provide insurance to the insurance companies, then it is called reinsurance companies. Now coming to the agency channels. Agency channels means a company formed to sell a particular insurance company's policies is called agency channel. So the name itself says. Next is intermediaries. So intermediaries, we know corporate agents, brokers. So the IRDAI regulates life insurance companies, general insurance companies, reinsurance companies, agency channels, and intermediaries. So our India is the 10th largest insurance market in the world. So by 2032, our India will become the 6th largest insurance market in the world. So in 2022, 55% of India population is working under the age group of 20 to 59 years. So we have 55% of the working population. By 2025, it will be getting increased to 56%, and due to COVID pandemic, the insurance policy holders rate is drastically increasing. Okay, so the insurance companies has a large market in India. The insurance rate is increasing gradually from 2.7% in 2000 to 4.2% in 2021. Now this topic was in news because um, the IRDAI along with general insurance companies and life insurance companies is going to launch the Bima Trinity. Okay, so in order to provide insurance to all to everybody in the country, they are launching this Bima Trinity program. So the IRDAI along with general and life insurance companies is going to launch this Bima Trinity. So now let's learn about the Bima Trinity. So Bima Trinity will be launched with the aim to provide life, health and property insurance to all by 2047. So the Bima Trinity. So Trinity means three things. So the Bima Trinity consists of three components. Bima means insurance, Trinity means three components. Okay, it consists of three components. So those three are, one is Bima Sugam. So Bima Sugam acts as one of the stop center for customers and for the insurance claim settlers. So both for paying and for getting paid, Bima Sugam will help. The second component is Bima Vistar. So Bima under this Bima Vistar, insurance is paid at a faster rate for life, health, and accident claims without any long process of surveying or verifying. Generally, if any accident occur or if any threat occurs to life, we go to the insurance company and claim for money. They take a very long time to give back the money. So, in this Bima Vistar, they will not take that very long time. They will not take very long time for surveying. They will provide within a short period of time. This is about Bima Vistar. Next, the third component is Bima Vahaks. Okay, so the main aim of this component is to spread knowledge about the benefits of insurance in the Gram Sabhas. So, for this, the women centric workforce will be launched. So, all the women will go to each and every household in the Gram Sabha, will spread awareness about this insurance and assure them confidence to become a policy holder. So this there are three benefits of the Bima Trinity. So those benefits are: first is they are affordable to people. So generally life insurance, private insurance companies will ask a huge amount to pay for every month. But under this Bima Trinity, the monthly payable amount is very limited. It is affordable, and the claim settlement process will be very fast, and it will boost even the insurance coverage in India. So these are about the Bima Trinity and about the insurance sector. The topic is demographic dividend. So, as per 2020, India has 55% of working population at the age group of 20 to 59 years. If the working population in the country is high, more people can be productive and can contribute to the growth of economy. So this is called demographic dividend. So if the working population is high, that means the economic capability of the country can also be increased. So this is called dividend. So recently, the periodic labor force survey, which is released by NSO, National Statistic Office. So the periodic labor force survey has released quarterly bulletins from January to March 2023 on unemployment rate. As per the report, the unemployment rate in India during September to December of 2022 was 17.3%, and during May to August of 2022, the unemployment rate was 18.6%. So the third quarter has 18.6%, and on the fourth quarter it got reduced only 0 point something. So to that point it has reduced, so it was still high, it is 17.3%. So this report has raised a serious concerns, because when there is a good demographic dividend, the country should use the human resources efficiently so that economy of the country can be grown. Due to the huge unemployment rate, human resources are not able to be used effectively, efficiently. So in the case is worse, even more worse, in the states like Rajasthan, Himachal Pradesh, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The percentage of unemployment rate during September to December of 2022 to 23 was 30%. Thus, as per these reports, India is not able to tap the human resources properly. Now let's look into the problems faced by India in using the demographic dividend. Okay, so India cannot efficiently tap the demographic dividend due to the gender inequalities. You can look into the figure over here. So due to gender inequalities, caste and religious discrimination, informal types of economy, low employability, lack of access to healthcare services, etc., all these are the challenges that the demographic dividend could not be increased or improved. So, one more term to learn over here in this topic is the first and the second demographic dividend. You can see in this box over here. So, we have two types of dividends. One is the first dividend and the second one is second demographic dividend. So, here when the percentage of working age population increases and the percentage of dependents decrease, then it is called first demographic dividend. And when the savings of the working age group population increases for preparation of their old age through savings, so when the working age population save money for old age, then it is called second demographic dividend. So it is also an asset. Saving money is also an asset for a country. So the country can raise economically. So by both first dividend and the second demographic dividend, the country has high chances to raise economically. But tapping the human resources efficiently is more important to generate money. So this is about the demographic dividend. The topic is ruralization in India. When urbanization takes place, it indicates that the country is getting industrialized. It is generating more income and it indicates that the productive capacity of the country is increasing. But when it comes to ruralization, it means the people from the urban areas are going to the rural areas and doing some primary sector agricultural jobs. When the country shifts from urbanization to ruralization, then it means that the country is getting deindustrialized. Ruralization means again going back into the less developed state. The economic growth of the country decreases, it will become less industrialized, and if that continues, regional disparities, economic inequalities, all these increase. So, due to large scale unemployment in urban areas, many people uh, are going back to the rural areas and doing agricultural practices. So, India's workforce and agriculture has increased from 42.5% in the year 2018 to 19 to 45.5% in the year 2021 to 22. So, industrial production of the country has decreased, and due to the COVID pandemic, we have the unemployment rate have increased, and we went 10 years back, and our per capita income has also worsened. So, the impacts of ruralization that are the economic growth decreases. Okay, so look at this figure here. So the impact of ruralization is the economic growth decreases, rate of manufacturing sector declines, and if manufacturing sector declines, automatically unemployment rate again increases, and due to more unemployment people, the wages get decreased and the productivity rates decline. So our government has introduced few initiatives in order to cut down these problems. So the first scheme is production linked incentive scheme, PLI scheme. So it focuses to develop industries and factories based on new and green technologies. Next is PM Swanidhi program. So it provides loans to the street vendors in urban areas. Next is PM Gati Shakti. So it provides multimodal transportation for economic growth and sustainable development. Next one is Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Urban Livelihood Mission. So it was launched to reduce poverty and vulnerability of urban poor. Next one is Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for MSMEs. So it provides fund for MSMEs to provide free loans. So it provides free loans up to 1 crore rupees for the MSME sector. To improve the MSME sector, the funds are provided under this Credit Guarantee Trust Fund for MSME, and under PM Mudra Yojana, it provides free loans to the MSMEs. So these are all the initiatives launched by the government of India in order to boost MSMEs and other manufacturing sectors in India. So let's learn about food storage in India. So India is the agricultural country. Our economy is mainly concentrated in agriculture. So food storage is very important. Look at the index over here. This one. The production of oilseeds, pulses, food grains are increasing gradually. India produces approximately 3,100 lakh, that is 3,100 lakh tons of food grains a year. Storage of food products is a major problem faced by Indians. So, to empower farmers by creating godowns, to strengthen food security, to reduce wastage, and for agricultural infrastructure at primary agricultural credit society levels, an interministerial committee is formed to create the world's largest grain storage plant in the cooperative sector. Okay, so here the cooperative sector are the form of business organization that is formed with the objective of helping society members. So this interministerial committee will be formed under the chairmanship of Minister of Corporation. Okay, so now why there is a need for storage, grain storage system? So because grain storage system is needed because it supports farmers and food processing sectors. So most of the farmers are under losses due to improper food storage. For vegetables and fruits, there is no cold storage facilities. So proper food storage system will empower farmers as well as food processing sectors. Next important point is improper storage management. So here, one of the so due to this improper storage, most of the food grains get wasted due to rodents, moisture, birds, and pests. And there are gaps in storage facilities. So the present godowns in the country can store only 47% of the produce. So proper food grain storage system is the need of the hour. So government of India has is planning to to converge few schemes in order to effectively manage food grains and empower farmers and food processing industries. So government is going to converge some schemes under particular ministries. So the agriculture infrastructure scheme, so AIF, this one provides post harvest management projects like e-marketing platforms, uh, pack houses, warehouses, cold chains, etc. So it is under the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And next one is Agricultural Marketing Infrastructure Scheme. So it is for storage of infrastructure project, storage of food. So for storage of food, better infrastructures are implemented under this scheme. Okay. The next one is Mission for Integrated Development and of Horticulture Scheme. So it is launched to increase the horticulture sector that covers mushrooms, fruits, cashews, vegetables, flowers, aromatic plants, etc. So it comes under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Next is Submission on Agriculture Mechanization. So it provides for the purchase of various types of agricultural equipment and machinery. So subsidies are provided for purchasing machinery related to agriculture and equipment. Okay, so all these four schemes come under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And the next one is Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises Scheme. So this was launched to strengthen food process section by training, research, and development in terms of professional and technical support. Okay, and next is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. So it is launched in 2017 and its main aim was to modernize and strengthen the food processing sector in the country. And these both come under Ministry of Food Processing Industries. And next is allocation of food grains under National Food Security Act 2013 and procurement operation at MSP. minimum support price, these both comes under Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So all these are the important schemes to remember in the food processing sector. Okay, the topic is cities 2.0. So cities project is the subcomponent of smart cities mission. So smart cities mission was launched in 2015 to make the sustainable and innovative cities. Now what is the sustainable and innovative cities? At present most of the metropolitan cities are depleting in underground water levels. There is more pollution, and there is no proper drainage system in the most metropolitan cities. So to counter all those solution problems and to provide a sustainable and green technologies, this smart cities mission was formed. So this includes proper management of groundwater, reducing fossil fuel usage and adopting the cleaner energy, etc. So under this mission, to concentrate and develop in few selected cities, the cities program was launched. Okay, under this smart cities mission, only to concentrate on some specific particular cities, the cities program was launched. So the cities, CITIIS, that is city investment to innovate, integrate and sustain project. Okay, this one was launched. So the first cities 1.0 project was launched in 2018 to develop 12 cities in Odisha. Okay, and again this second phase of cities 2.0 was approved, and this project will be implemented in 18 cities, and there are 18 cities, though these 18 cities will be based on the competition. Okay, so based upon the competition the 18 cities will be selected, and those 18 cities will be improved under this cities 2.0 project. Okay, so here the cities 2.0 will be launched under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Okay, under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs the cities 2.0 will be launched, and it will be implemented in 18 cities. Okay, so to implement this scheme, technological assistance is needed, financial assistance is needed. So four organizations have come forward to give technological support as well as financial support. So those four organizations are Agency Franchise Development, AFD, first one. The second one is Kredentanstalt for Wiederaufbau, KfW, Germany. The second one. The third one is the European Union, and the fourth one is the National Institute of Urban Affairs. So all these four bodies come forward, give technical assistance and provide financial assistance. So these four organizations are going to invest in cities 2.0. Okay, so this is about the cities 2.0 topic. The topic surplus transfer by RBI. So first let's know the meaning of this word surplus. If your expenditure is less than your income, you will have some amount left with you, and you save that amount or you invest. Okay, so that money which is left after you spend is called surplus amount. Okay, surplus means it is more than you need. Okay, so that money is called surplus. So in the same way, the money which is left with RBI after its expenditure is called surplus. So RBI also will have some income. So if we have surplus amount, we will invest it or save it. Similarly, RBI transfers the amount or to the central government. So here, before 2010, RBI would save its surplus in the contingency fund or asset development fund. But after the recommendations of two committees, that is Maligam Committee and Bimal Jalan Committee, RBI has increased its surplus transfer to the government. So here, the Maligam Committee was formed by RBI in the year 2010 to review the microfinance sector in India. And the next committee is Bimal Jalan Committee. So, this committee was formed to suggest how the central bank should handle its reserves and whether it can transfer its surplus to the government. So, it was also set up by RBI. So, both these committees, Malikam Committee and Bimal Jalan Committee, was set up by RBI. And one more important point here is the RBI transfers the surplus amount to the government under Section 47 of the RBI Act of 1934. And one interesting fact here is the RBI will not pay any income tax. So this year the surplus amount was 188% more and it was transferred to the union government. So in this graph you can see the surplus amount transferred by RBI to the central government. Okay. So this is our present surplus amount. Let's know about the topic rupees 2000 notes withdrawn from circulation. So 2000 notes were introduced in the year 2016 under section 24 clause 1 of RBI Act of 1934. So it was done to meet the currency needs after demonetization. In 2018 to 19, they stopped printing 2000 notes as the other currency notes are in adequate amounts. And finally, they have withdrawn 2000 denominations under clean note policy of currency management operations of RBI. So this is a normal process which is done in order to clear the corruption and to make notes efficient and clean. So here 2000 notes can be exchanged with the limit of 20,000 limit per day till 30th September of 2023. So this is about 2000 notes withdrawal. Let's know about the topic report on currency and finance 2022 to 23. So this report on currency and finance 2022 to 23 is released by RBI. As per the report, due to the climate change, there will be a loss around 3 to 10% of India's total GDP by 2100, and among 80 million global jobs, 34 million jobs of Indians will be lost due to the productivity decline by 2030, and due to the extreme heat and humidity conditions there will be a loss of labor hours which result in 4.5% of GDP loss by 2030. Public sector banks will be more affected due to climate change, and this report has suggested to adopt fiscal policy initiatives like green technology adoption, like carbon pricing using carbon taxes, emission trading system, green taxonomy in order to increase green assets and activities, and wind and solar power energy, etc. So this is about the RCF report. It is released by RBI and it mainly focuses on how to be away from the climate change impact. So this is about RCF. So let's know about the topic increase in the gold holdings. The value for gold in Indian households is everlasting. India is among the top 10 countries in the gold reserves. Our India is the largest importer of the gold. We import 800 to 900 tons of gold every year. We have foreign exchange reserves. So these reserves are generally assets from a country, for a country. Okay, it may be in terms of investment, it may be in terms of bonds, in terms of long-term government securities, gold reserves, special drawing rights, and international monetary fund. So all these are the assets for the government. So all these reserves are in the form of currency except gold. So the currency value might increase or decrease due to the various reasons like inflation, deflation, etc. But the value for gold will never decrease. At present, due to the inflation in US dollars and due to Russia and China trading with their local currency, and India is also internationalizing its rupee. So due to all these situations, the value for dollars is decreasing. almost most countries like even India wanted to trade with the local currency. In this situation, if any economic breakdown occurs, then only gold reserves may help us to trade. So, RBI and central banks are increasing the gold holding capacity. So, because of the increase in the gold holding, it was in use. So, the topic is expected credit loss. This topic seems to be very confusing, but listen carefully to avoid confusion. Imagine you are a bank. You will get money if people deposit some amount. With this deposited money, you gave loan to a person A. Okay? For some interest rate. You gave a loan to some person A for some interest rate. If that A person shows some symptoms of not paying loan, then you will calculate what losses will occur if that person will not pay on time. This calculation of losses is called expected credit loss. That's it. It is simple. We are going to know about angel tax. So, uh, if you want to build a company or startup, you have to invest some amount, right? So, you invest to build a company, and because you are investing, you have to pay the tax to the government. This tax is called angel tax. Okay, so angel tax was introduced in 2012 to levy tax on the unlisted companies. Unlisted companies means which are not official. Okay, so or which are not authorized. So if you want to build, generally it seems to be a new company or the smallest company which wants recognition. So this topic is in news because before angel tax is applied only to the Indians, but now Ministry of Finance has made few changes in the angel tax, so it has extended even to the non-resident investors. So the Finance Bill of 2023 stated the extension of angel tax to the non-residents investors. Let's know about the topic PLI 2.0 for IT hardware scheme. So, we frequently hear the word Atmanirbhar Bharat, which means self reliant India. And to make India self reliant, we have to increase exports and decrease imports. At present, in this technological world, the demand for electronic companies is on rise. So, government is encouraging to put startups, companies based on electronic technology and most of the times green technology. Okay, so production linked incentive scheme is one among them. Under this scheme, financial assistance will be given to the companies and especially for the IT hardware. Okay, so in order to all these are in order to make sustainable India, self reliant India, and in order to increase green technology. Okay, so the PLI 2.0 for IT hardware scheme was launched in 2021, and now the Ministry of Electronics and IT Information Technology has notified another new scheme called PLI 2.0. PLI means Production Linked Incentive Scheme. Okay, these schemes are all under Atmanirbhar Bharat. So one of the scheme to encourage Atmanirbhar Bharat is Production Linked Incentive Scheme, and under that PLI 1.0 for IT hardware scheme, and the other one is recently notified PLI 2.0 for IT hardware scheme. Okay, so with such type of schemes, our domestic manufacturing industry has grown from 1.2% in 2014 to 3.75% to in 2021 to 22. So the budget of PLI 2.0 is 17,000 crores. The incentives for the company will be given on the annual sales, and for global companies it is 4,500 crores. For hybrid companies it is 2,250 crores. For domestic companies it is 500 crores. So based upon different companies sales on a year, in a year the amount varies. Okay, so All these are to develop technologically, to become industrialized nation, and even our employment rate in India increases because of such type of schemes. So let's know about the topic Vivad Se Vishwas One scheme. So we all know during COVID pandemic situation, many of the small businesses shattered. Micro, small and medium enterprises (MSMEs) has suffered huge economic losses, and the people have to take loans, and many of them took loans and invested in small businesses, and all those small businesses went into losses due to COVID. Repayment of interest or loan amount is very difficult for them, especially for the small business people. So, to help those MSME businesses, Vivad Se Vishwas Fund scheme was launched in the year 2023 to 24 in the union budget. So, the repayment of loan is not needed to the MSME sectors who suffered economic losses in COVID. So, this scheme was launched by the Department of Expenditure under the Ministry of Finance. For the topic Assistance to Medical Device Clusters for Common Facilities Scheme. So, after the COVID pandemic, we got to know about our weaknesses. Medical equipment is one among them. Medical charges and medical services were very high. One of the key reasons for this is we import 75 to 80% of the medical devices from several multinational companies. We have to also build and industrialize medical devices in India. We are the fourth largest Asian medical device market in the world. Even we consume so much, we import 75 to 80% of medical equipment. So, for this problem, the government has launched a scheme called Assistance to Medical Device Clusters for Common Facilities Scheme. So, under this scheme, financial assistance will be given by the government to strengthen the medical equipment testing laboratories so that they can make our own medical devices, test them, use them, and can also export them to another country, making India a self reliant country. So, one important point to remember here is our India is the fourth largest market in medical devices globally after Japan, China, and South Korea. The tenure of the scheme is from 2023 to 24 to 2026 to 27. Let's know about the topic e-appeals scheme. So, all the policies, planning regarding direct taxes is laid on the Central Board of Direct Taxes (CBDT). So, the Central Board of Direct Taxes is like a main body in dealing with the issues of direct taxes. So, it has released a new scheme called e-appeal scheme. So, under the scheme, all the cases are solved online, and if the appellant requests any personal hearing, video conference or video telephony was done to solve disputes regarding the taxes. Okay, everything will be digital. Okay, if the appellant want some personal hearing, then video conference or video telephony is available. Okay, everything in terms of dealing with tax disputes is going to be digitalized under this e-appeal scheme. We are going to know about interstate transmission system charges or ISTS charges. If the electricity is generated more in one state, some amount of electricity can be transferred to another state through the interstate transmission system. And for transmitting from one state to another state, they take few extra charges called interstate transmission system charges or ISTS charges. But as per the recent news, Ministry of Power is going to waive off the ISTS charges for the companies or industries which generate power using green ammonia, green hydrogen, or using wind energy for the 25 years. So, for the offshore wind power projects, this opportunity is applicable on or before 31st December of 2032, and for green hydrogen or green ammonia, production units, or for the renewable energy, pumper or battery storage systems, and hybrid combination electricity producers, there is no ISTS charges if they commission on or before 31st December 2030. But after that specified time period, they will apply the transmission charges on the graded system, gradedly. Okay, so this is about the ISTS charges. Let's know about the topic ease of doing business in telecom and broadcasting sector. So in telecommunication market, our India is the second largest in the world. Telecom Regulatory Authority of India is a statutory body that is established under the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India Act of 1997. It regulates the telecom services in India. So, the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, that is TRAI, has released the ease of doing business in telecom and broadcasting sector. So, this report is different from the ease of doing business report released by the World Bank that was abolished in 2021. Okay, World Bank releases one report called ease of doing business report that is abolished in the year 2021. Okay, now this ease of doing business in telecom and broadcasting sector is released by TRAI, that is Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Okay, TRAI, it is in India. So this report is different from the ease of doing business report released by the World Bank. Okay, so in India, TRAI has released ease of doing business report on telecom and broadcasting sector in order to simplify the cycle of business, to create investor friendly ecosystem by replacing the difficult regulations, procedures with simple and transparent rules. So under this report, TRAI has given some recommendations. They are: all the ministries and departments should adopt a user friendly, transparent and responsive single window user system, and each ministry should establish a standing ease of doing business committee to regularly review the working process in the telecom industry. Permissions from laying cables, operations and maintenance of submarine cables network should be made a part of Saral Sanchar portal. Okay, and domestic and international tariffs is not defined in United License of TRAI Act of 1997, so it should also be defined. So all these are the recommendations made by TRAI to make smooth, efficient and transparent telecom and broadcasting sector. The topic is One Station One Product Scheme, OSOP scheme. So One Station One Product scheme is launched under the Ministry of Railways to promote the vocal for local vision. Under this One Station One Product scheme, in every railway station, the indigenous products of that particular area are showcased and sold. So this program promote the poor people, rural people, art and craftsmen, and it gives financial support for them. In the same way, in the same time, the local products get promoted. Thus, the vocal for local vision will also be fulfilled under the One Nation One Product scheme. Okay, so here around 728 railway stations have introduced the scheme promoting the local products. Center for Processing Accelerated Corporate Exit, CPACE. So CPACE was established under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So CPACE is established on March 2023 in Haryana. Its main function is to process and dispose the company's applications after verifying it, and it works under the Director General of Corporate Affairs. So CPACE will help to reduce the stress on the registry of companies, provides hassle-free filing of applications, and it maintains timely and process-bound striking of the companies from the Ministry of Corporate Affairs register. So the companies, it simply states that the companies which are not active will be striked away. Okay, which are very active, they will help in filing applications, they'll help in other terms. Okay, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs under CPACE will encourage the corporate sector, and the companies which are not active or uh, which are which are already closed, then those will be out of its register. Okay, so that is about the CPACE program launched by Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Let's know about the topic Harit Sagar, the Green Port Guidelines 2023. So, to implement sustainable initiatives in the shipping sector, the Harit Sagar Guidelines was launched in 2023. Under this, the guidelines for creating green ports are laid down, and under these guidelines, ports must meet at least 60% of electricity by renewable energy sources by 2030 and up to 90% by 2047, and all the ports must have at least one LNG bunkering station by 2030. So here the LNG bunkering station means LNG bunkering is nothing but the process of providing liquefied natural gas fuel to a ship for its own consumption. Okay, and next is electric vehicle charging stations should be set up around the ports by 2025. So all these guidelines are very good initiatives for providing and promoting the green ports and promoting Swachh Bharat mission. So it will fulfill sustainable development goals and promote environment friendly practices across all ports. So the Green Sagar guidelines are given under the Green Port Initiative. So under the Green Port Initiatives, Project Green Ports are laid down, National Center of Excellence for Green Ports and Shipping is established, and Green Voyage 2050 project was established under the pilot project under IMO, that is International Migration Organization, and draft Green Ports policy is also established. So all these projects are launched under the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. So let's know about the topic Jawaharlal Nehru Port. So the turnaround time of a ship means the time between the arrival of the ship and departure of the ship. Okay, so here, as per the World Bank's Logistic Performance Index 2023, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Authority has the turnaround time of just 22 hours. Okay, and India became amongst the top performers. So this Jawaharlal Nehru Port is located in Navi Mumbai. It has 50% of total containerized cargo volume, and it is one of the major ports in India. And one more thing is, in 2022, this port has become the first major port which was 100% a landlord port. Now, what is this landlord port? Landlord port means it is totally maintained by both public sector as well as private sector very efficiently. Okay, so it has become the first to become 100% landlord port in 2022. So let's know about NYMEX WTI crude oil and natural gas futures contracts. So by listening to this topic name, you might feel very difficult to understand it. So let's break into few parts. Okay, first let's know about NYMEX. So NYMEX means the New York Mercantile Exchange. Okay, so it is a US based market. So under this, energy products like crude oil, natural gas, gasoline, home heating oil, propane, electricity, and metals like gold, silver, copper, aluminium, and platinum are traded. Okay, so NYMEX is like a platform where all the products are traded. Okay, now let's know about WTI. WTI means West Texas Intermediate. So it extracts oil from the wells in the USA and trades through NYMEX. So it is a producing company and this one is a trading company. So both these came together. Okay, so Nimex WTI crude oil, both these, this is a crude oil extraction company and this is a crude oil trading company. So both these came together. Okay, Nimex WTI crude oil. Hope you understood this first statement, this one. And next, natural gas futures contract. So natural gas is, we know, in future there is the contract between Nimex WTI crude oil and the natural gas. Okay, now who made the contract, who made these agreements? It is the National Stock Exchange. Okay, on what is the speciality of this? It is because the rupee is, the trading is done in the rupee denominations. Okay, so the National Stock Exchange is going to use rupee denominated Nimex WTI crude oil and natural gas futures contract. Okay, so here I'll tell you the essence of this topic. So here what happened is, in future the oil prices may increase or decrease. Okay, so here they are making the future agreement, so they'll pay now and with the same cost they are going to deliver that oil in the future. Okay, so if I am paying you some amount and I'm asking you to give the gold at on 2026 November 28, then at that time you have to deliver that amount, that gold to me. Okay, that is called the future contracts. Okay, the same amount. So if the gold value is suppose 25,000 now, so I'll pay you 25,000. Okay, I'm buying 10 grams of gold. Okay, but I don't want now, I want it at 2026. Okay, so I've made an agreement, I have paid the amount, and now your responsibility is to deliver me the product on the specified time. Okay, so that is called the future contracts. Okay, so National Stock Exchange in the similar way use the rupee denominations with the Nimex WTI crude oil and natural gas. Okay, for the future contracts. Simple. Let's know about the topic Future of Jobs Report 2023. So the Future of Jobs Report is released by the World Economic Forum, and the fourth edition of it is released in the year 2023. So it mainly focuses on the jobs, the skills, the development process, and the impact of the development in or industrialization. Okay, so it tracks about the labor market, impact on the labor due to industrialization, green and energy transitions, supply chain shifts, etc. Okay, so as per the report, 44% workers still skills will be disrupted in the next 5 years. Why? Because there will be a huge transition, right? The skills which I know now may not be useful in the next 5 years. So 44% of worker skill will get disrupted in the next 5 years as per the report. And the next one is 61% of the Indian companies think broader applications of ESG standards will drive job growth. So here, because of the introduction of the new technologies, 65% of Indian companies are going to adopt new technologies and they are going to broaden the digital access. So all these companies are going to be digitalized. Okay, the next thing is 23% of jobs are expected, all the 23% of jobs are expected to change in the next 5 years. Maybe, so here few people might work in the electric sector, but after that they are going to change for the solar electricity or wind electricity or green ammonia electricity or green hydrogen electricity. Okay, so 23% of the jobs are going to change in the next 5 years. So these are about the key findings. Coming to the recommendations, so here the local labor, we have to fill the skill gaps in the local labor market, and inability, there is an inability to attract the talent, so we have to put more initiatives in order to attract the talent. And the frameworks which we are doing right now, the policies, the rules, regulations are outdated, we have to update as per the time. So we have to respond at the time when it is needed the most. Okay, so we have to be updated in terms of implementing regulatory framework, making policies or making laws. So, and other thing is there is a shortage in the investment of capital. So all these are the barriers of business transformation. So workforce strategies is we have to invest in learning, training, and we have to accelerate automation process, and we have to expand the contract work, we have to hire more permanent staff, etc. So all these are the workforce strategies of 2023 to 27.